Hello my friends and welcome. Let's go straight to Avdiivka. The situation there is quite difficult for Ukrainian army but as well as for the Russian one. Nevertheless, Russia advanced today. We have the confirmation about it from many of the military resources. Mostly the advancement is happening on the north from Avdiivka, from the Krasnogorivka village. However, Russia still struggles to cross the railroad. They have the standard mid-wave tactics which they perform from Krasnogorivka, also from this place and also from this place. Here is no any movement and here they were forced to retreat. Russia wants to make the same scenario or similar to the Bakhmut one, but it's totally different. The area itself is different. All of the defense lines, natural obstacles, and there is no Wagner army. So I don't think that this scenario is possible for the Russian army. So it's the short answer. Let's go to the Krasnogorivka, the north part. Actually, this part is in a gray area. There's the confirmation that Russian army wasn't able to reach the hill. They put their flag, as I told you in my last video, but it is too risky for them to deploy the forces. But here it seems like they move ahead and Ukraine started to use more of the artillery. There are lots of the surveillance drones of Ukrainian army flying everywhere. So the big question is whether the Russian army would be able to cross to Stepova, cross this railroad connection. Well, there is the possibility, but not with the current Russian resources. Ukraine again used the ATACMS missiles. Before we go to this topic, let me tell you about the partner and also the sponsor of my channel. It is the Atlas VPN, and they introduced, here listen to me, the special Black Friday offer. This offer is valid just for my followers, where you may get the Atlas VPN Premium for $149 per month. If you sign up for 3 years, plus you'll have 12 months extra. I always use the Atlas VPN and let me tell you why. For me personally, Atlas VPN is the best VPN out there. It has a security breach device monitoring feature, so it alerts me when someone tries to reach my device. Then I use the public Wi-Fi. Then I see that message, I disconnect from that public Wi-Fi. Atlas VPN is very fast. It guarantees you the best streaming connection, then you watch movies on Netflix. And also by changing your virtual location, you may get access to watch all of the movies, all of the series on Netflix platform. It helped me a lot. So my friends, please check out my personal link where you may find the special offer from the Atlas VPN, the Black Friday deal, where you'll get it just for $149 plus 12 months extra. It is the best offer on the market right now and also it is time limited, so hurry up to join the club. Let's go back to the video. So here you may see the ATACMS missile. It was found in Luhansk Oblast. As the Russian military officials said, at first they targeted 2 of the ATACMS missiles this morning, but it seems like this missile wasn't really targeted. I don't see any kind of the traces from the shrapnel. Actually, it's very hard for any sort of the air defense systems to target the ballistic missile. I think what has happened there, that the cluster munition warhead just separated as usual and targeted something. The Russian side say that it targeted the pipeline over there. I'm out of the information actually of what was targeted. We cannot trust the Russian propaganda and we'll find out in the future. But the good thing is that Ukraine continued to use the ATACMS missiles. More videos are coming from Avdiivka. This time Russia tried to advance with not that large forces as usual. So some of the armored vehicles were used and this is what happened. It happened near to Krasnogorivka, the assault attempt of the Russian Federation. In general, the Ukrainian defense performs very well in Avdiivka, so it's early to say that this situation is close to some sort of the encirclement or even to very difficult situation. Yes, it is a little difficult, challenging, but not critical. Let's check out the update from the deep state military map. So here's the Krasnogorivka and this is the front line changes for today. Definitely not a significant move from the Russian army, standstill. On the south there is the light movement near to Nestranka, so it was yesterday and it is today, the gray area expansion. And according to the ISW resources, our guys moved not far away from Robotyne, south westbound. In general, this area is already colored in green. It means that the last attack attempt of Ukrainian army was long time ago, around 3 weeks ago. And here we have just a light movement towards Verbova village. About the front lines in general, there is not a lot of the information coming, also not a lot of the drone footages. According to the information coming from the Institute for the War Researches, Ukrainian army with a new landing operation was able to cut the very important supply road between Kazachyi-Lahiri and 2 of those villages. Awesome. So we're speaking about this road that goes very close to the Dnieper River. Ukraine cut it over here, but Russia still has the secondary road over here directly to Kazachyi-Lahiri, and they will use it for their supplies. Also, they may use this one for Pyshanivka, but Pitstepne is under the big question for the Russian supplies during the wet period, because mostly they're just field roads and nothing more. So it is definitely the success of Ukrainian army. Cut the supply line, but Russia has alternates. It seems like Ukraine is creating one more Russian army. Good Russians, I mean. We already have the Freedom Legion and also the Russian Volunteer Corps. I call them the Russian Opposition Forces. They were assaulting on the Russian territory many times during 2023, sometimes keeping the Russian territory for many weeks. Russia have to use even aviation against them. So Bloomberg says that there will be one more battalion created. It will have the name Siberia. To get to this battalion, all of the Russian citizens should go through the special checks. But instead of the Russian Volunteer Corps and the Freedom Legion, the Siberian Battalion will be the part of the Ukrainian army, just like the Foreign Legion, but this time with Russians. So indeed, there are good Russians who do not support Putin's regime. The Russian propaganda says again that Shoigu, the Russian defense minister, went to the front lines. They always show him in the bunker with those nets. It is very strange to use those inside but not outside. There are some sort of the wallpapers which collect the dust. Maybe it's the same place as the last time, somewhere near to the Moscow. We have lots of the political news for today. For example, Chancellor Scholz announced the new military help for Ukraine. As it was said a couple of weeks ago, Ukraine will get lots of the air defense systems and air defense missiles. We need them a lot because now Russia saves the cruise missiles for the winter attacks. There is also the chance that Ukraine might get the new military help from the United States of America because the new Speaker of the United States House of Representatives was elected. The new Speaker is the Republican Mike Johnson. 220 senators voted for him. Before, he wasn't really supportive in military help for Ukraine, but everything might change. For example, Bloomberg says that although Johnson has previously been skeptical about the aid to Ukraine, he has said he is open for negotiations with President Joe Biden about his request in funding more help to Ukraine against the Russian aggression. So it's not that bad as it looks, and we also may advise Johnson how to act in this case. Almost 35% of my audience are American citizens. My fellow Americans, you may help Ukraine by sending the simple request to Mike Johnson. He has the website with a contact form. I cannot fill it because I'm not the United States citizen, but you can. So you may politely ask him to join the Biden's deal in helping Ukraine. Here we don't care about ideology, Republican, Democrat, whatever. Basically, it doesn't matter in this case. What matters is the new budget of United States of America for 2024. So we may also play this small game. I don't think whether it will be effective or not, probably not, but at least we may try. Because we need to raise the awareness that Ukraine needs more resources to fight against Russia, because Russia gets more resources from itself, producing more weaponry, and also from North Korea and Iran. So if we push right now with more resources in 2024, Ukraine has the chance to win, but later on it will be a very long-term conflict. So after all, United States will spend more funds to support Ukraine. If somehow United States stops supporting Ukraine in military, it will be also bad for the United States itself, because Putin will be more powerful. He will understand that he might win using his aggressive barbarian tactics, not just in Ukraine but maybe in other countries. The main thing that the crisis in the Senate is more or less leveled for now, and Ukraine has the chance for the further support. And again, don't really trust what politicians say. At one point they may say one thing, at the other point totally opposite. It's the normal thing for any kind of the politician. According to this article from the Washington Post, there are still some of the connections between Ukraine and Russia, with some mediators in between like Turkey, Qatar, Arab Emirates, Vatican, and what is that? Oh, Red Cross. Mainly the talks are ongoing about the prisoners of war exchange, the transportation of the Ukrainian grains, and the return of the kids and children from Russia. But it doesn't mean that this platform will be used for the peace talks in the future. It was created for the humanitarian stuff. Alright, we have some news from Russia. They launched the nuclear missile without the nuclear warhead, by the way. They are not testing this missile with nuclear warhead because it's forbidden right now according to the international agreements. However, Russia now excluded itself from those agreements. It means that in the future they might test that missile with a nuclear warhead, and that is how the missile looks in the night sky of Russia. Very beautiful picture, but very deadly. Russia wants to show their nuclear capability. This rocket is called Yars. It is the intercontinental ballistic missile. By the way, the NATO countries also performed the nuclear military drills not long time ago. About the Sweden's NATO membership, well, Turkey is totally agree with that, but this time Hungary blocks everything connected to the Sweden's membership in NATO. Guys, honestly, I'm tired commenting about the current Hungarian government and Viktor Orban in personal. You may write your comments just below of what do you think about this guy who does everything against the values of NATO and the European Union. It's just crazy. China is looking to warm up the relations between the United States and themselves. Xi Jinping says that the world's stability depends on the relations between those countries. Well, actually it's good to hear after the recent escalation, especially in the Middle East. It is interesting that not a long time ago China dismissed its defense minister, who was really on the pro-Russian side. I think that the best cooperation between the United States and China would be to shut down Russia from the supplies from China. We have some breaking news. The United States military base is under attack again. It happened in Syria this evening. Again, no other details about the recent attack were published. We are out of clue whether they were drones or missiles. Nevertheless, United States of America decided to reinforce their bases in the Middle East. They deployed a squadron of F-16s as well as 12 THAAD and Patriot air defense systems, which will be deployed in Saudi Arabia. Also Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq, UAE, and Qatar. The air tanker KC-135 and the surveillance airplane P-8, anti-ship airplane we also may call it, will be deployed in Greece. So at least there is some action to protect the United States military bases. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video, and also please check out my personal link in the video description just below, where you may find the Black Friday deal from the Atlas VPN. This is awesome. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.